else would we start our Canada West preview, but with the defending champion UBC Thunderbirds, and head coach Blake Nill looking to lead the team back to the promised land after a Cinderella run in 2015. He's got some holes to fill on D, as standouts Taylor Loeffler, Terrell Davis, and Mitch Barnett all gone to the Canadian Football League. Who returns? Vanier Cup defensive MVP Stavros Katsantonis, and he'll be expected to anchor that group. On offense, the Birds will have to replace workhorse running back Brandon Deschamps, but they'll have a bulk of their weapons back, including sophomore quarterback Michael O'Connor, who threw for nearly 4,000 yards and 23 touchdowns in 2015. He'll have a bulk of his receiving core back as well, including Travell Pinto, Alex Morrison, Ben Watson, and dynamic playmaker Marcus Davis. Special teams will be a question mark for the Birds, as all-Canadian kicker Quinn Van Gilswyk has gone to the Canadian Football League. They'll try and replace him with Mexico State transfer Greg Hutchins. He's got big shoes to fill, but he comes in at 6'3", 200 pounds. Question marks on D for the Birds, but expect the offense to pick up right where they left off in November.
12-yard line, 3-by-2. Buckley looks left and delivers right to Rashawn Simonize, and he finds his way into the promised land for 6.
Undefeated before running into the red-hot UBC Thunderbirds a year ago, Wayne Harris Jr. and the Calgary Dinos have work to do in 2016. The team has lost 6 first-team All-Canadians, a back-to-back Heck Crichton winner, their star running back, star receiver, and their All-Canadian kicker. The Dinos are hoping Bryce Harper and Jeshrin Antwi can help replace the production lost by the departed Mercer Timmis. The receiving core without Brett Blasco, Max Serro, and Rashawn Simonize, who's trying to earn his way in the NFL. The team does return Austin Hartley and Denzel Radford to try and pick up the production. Make no mistake about it, this is now quarterback Jimmy Underdahl's team. The fifth-year pivot did see significant playing time behind Andrew Buckley, and he had a sparkling 76.3 completion percentage a year ago, which earned him an invitation to Montreal Alouettes training camp. Along the offensive line, gone is All-Canadian Sean McEwen, but returning are All-Canadian guards Braden Schramm and Darius Siracco. On defense, a few less question marks. Tom Higgins is in as defensive coordinator, and he's got weapons, including the Defensive Player of the Year in the Canada West, Robert Woodson, and first-team All-Canadian Adam Lawrence anchoring the secondary. Linebackers DeAndre Townsend and All-Canadian Makat Tates should return to anchor a strong defensive group. With so many questions in Calgary, this should be one of the more interesting teams to follow in 2016. Mike Gibson is out, and Steve Bryce is in for the University of Regina Rams, and after a winless season a year ago, they'll look to turn things around in 2016. Over the past couple of seasons, the Rams have developed an identity running the football, and returning is Atlee Simon, who led the Canada West with 938 yards. And he still has 3 seasons of CIS eligibility remaining. Noah Picton returns at quarterback to lead the offense, and he'll have his favorite target, Mitch Picton, back. Picton had 503 yards and led the team with 41 receptions a year ago. Also returning in the receiving core are Riley Wilson and Andrew Bennett. Mitch Thompson is expected to miss the entire 2016 season due to injury. He had 526 yards and 5 touchdowns a year ago. Second-year slot back Ryan Scheinbein and speedy transfer from Northeast Mississippi Community College, Khaled Cornegay, should provide a spark on offense. The Rams also have to replace 2 fifth-year starting linemen in Aaron Picton and Kyle Patterson. On defense, the Rams shift to a 3-4 unit to take advantage of their speedy, athletic group of linebackers, led by the polarizing Michael Stefanovic and veteran Joey Dwyer. With optimism in the air in Regina, the Rams could challenge for a playoff spot this season. Brian Dobie returns for his 21st season at the helm of the Manitoba Bisons, and they'll look to avenge a semifinal loss to the UBC Thunderbirds last season. He'll be without defensive lineman David Onyemata, who signed a 4-year deal with the New Orleans Saints in the offseason. He'll also be without offensive lineman Alex McKay. Receivers Dustin Peterson and Alex Vitt, who led the team with 711 yards last season, and Canada West Rookie of the Year running back Jamel Lyles, who is going to play junior football this season. Who is back? Quarterback Teo Dizar is at the helm once again, looking to lead this offense. Running backs Alex Christie and Cameron Fox look to fill the void left by the departed Jamel Lyles. And receivers Anthony Dick and Jesse Walker return. Walker led the team with 32 receptions last season. The defense, a little bit more impressive. On the defensive line, the team returns Christian Turner and 2016 East-West Bowl defensive MVP Evan Foster. 3 linebackers return, including DJ Lalama, and with 5 returnees, this secondary might be the best in Canada West. And they include Tyler Fong, Jaden McCoy, and Eric Platt. Manitoba Bisons, they're going to be tough to handle in 2016. Excitement, the word traveling across the University of Alberta, and head coach Chris Morris gets to see what 4 years of recruiting can produce. Who is not back? Second-team All-Canadian receiver Jimmy Ralph had 862 yards and 3 touchdowns a year ago. Who is back? Fourth-year running back Ed Ilnicki returns to carry the load. The receiving corps led by Andre Webster and Tyler Henry, the West MVP in the 2016 East-West Bowl. Throwing the football, sophomore quarterback Ben Kopczynski returns after a fine 2015 campaign. He'll be pushed for the starting quarterback job by newcomer Jordan McCarty. The group boasts a veteran offensive line led by Canada West All-Star Justin Lawrence. Question marks, though, on the defensive side of the football, and a group that produced just 6 sacks a year ago must be better. They are hoping that PFC Lineman of the Year and former Saskatoon Hilltop Blake Adams can provide an instant impact along the defensive line. For a team that has missed the playoffs each of the past 2 seasons by just a single game, if they can shore up the defense, playoff football could finally return to the University of Alberta. The University of Saskatchewan Huskies are an interesting group coming into the 2016 season. The offense remains mostly intact and should be one of the top units in the conference. That includes quarterbacks Drew Burko and Kyle Siemens, both returning. Burko, a 4-year starter, gave way to Kyle Siemens, who led the Huskies into the playoffs a year ago. Both running backs Tyler Chow and Jarvis James return. They'll be aided by running back Colton Clausen, who comes to the Huskies from the Regina Thunder. The receiving corps will be led once again by Mitch Hillis, who had over 1,000 yards receiving for the Dogs last season. Julon Lynch expected to have more of an impact this season. He'll also be joined by Chad Braun, who joins the Huskies from the Saskatoon Hilltops. The Huskies boast a veteran offensive line. It'll be led by tackle Evan Johnson. On the defensive side of the ball, plenty of question marks for the Huskies, but not along the defensive line. Outstanding lineman Donovan Dale returns to lead a veteran group of linemen that includes Braden Turinsky, Tristan Kronkowitz, and Evan Macabroda. The team lost linebackers Dane Bishop and Jeff Hughes, along with safety Chris Friesen this offseason. Plenty of question marks for the Huskies, specifically in that secondary. With so many storylines across the conference, the Canada West will be as competitive as ever, and it's anyone's guess who will come out on top. For the Canada West and Campus Corner, I'm Darren Dupont.